Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast with your host, Mike Campion. If you are passionate about the cleaning industry, you are in the right place. Love what you hear? Spread the word and tell the cleaning world this is the place to be. Want more? Check out www.growmycleaningcompany.com for free online video trainings, free ebook downloads, free blog posts, and of course, all the podcast episodes. Everything you need to grow your cleaning company is at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast, where I coach owners of cleaning companies every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on anything and everything relating to building a growing a cleaning company. If that's you and you are committed to growing your cleaning company, you know you can check out growmycleaningcompany.com and get everything you need to create the cleaning company you've always wanted. If you want to be a guest on the show, call or email our producer Natalie at nat@growmycleaningcompany.com or call at 480-648-5149. You can leave a message. You can apply to be on the show. You can just give us a shout out. We are always excited to hear from you, Cleaning Nation. Today, we are chatting with Michael Guerra from Pacific Coast Cleaning. Pacific Coast has served the Orange County area with commercial cleaning services since 2009. If you want to reach out to Michael and his team, you get a hold of them at www.pacificcoastcleaningservices.com. Michael, say hello to Cleaning Nation.
Good morning, Clean Nation.
So happy to hear you. Tell me a little bit about you, my friend. I love am jealous of getting to clean in Orange County. How'd you end up there, and how'd you end up in the cleaning business?
Well, Orange County is the place where I arrived quite a while back in 1989. Came to visit Laguna Beach area, and fell in love with it, and decided to join the service. And I was down in San Diego in the Navy, and stayed in this area after the service. And I had a little market, worked for a Fortune 500 company, Cisco Food Service, and really been always a part of the cleaning service industry because of the jobs, the line of work that I was in. I was doing sales for the restaurant business. I did wholesale for my own business, but never didn't really want to. I can control my income because we were on commission, but I wanted to own my own company and put in what I couldn't do working for somebody else, which is use what I know, my knowledge, and grow a business that way.
Yeah, it's funny. It seems like you came to entrepreneurship the same way I did. I got hooked on sales, and that I don't like ever having somebody tell me, well, you make 40 grand a year, 80 grand a year, whatever it is. And I go, what if I do an extraordinary job and make you millions? Well, then we might give you a 2% bonus. What? So yeah, I got into sales the exact same way. And then I realized, well, shoot, the only problem with sales is if I stop selling, I stop getting paid. And, for me, that owning a business was the perfect answer for both. So how did you get to be a part of Cleaning Nation, my friend?
Well, Cleaning Nation reached out to me, and every day we get calls from salespeople out there, and then trying to get us to buy something. But I've never had anybody call me and ask me if we wanted to be a part of something that was growing, and that a lot of people were taking advantage and using it to their advantage. And it's unique, very unique. And that's why I liked it. And I wanted to be a part of this.
Well, cool. Congratulations on getting on Natalie's list of, I don't know how she does it, but figuring out who she calls and when she calls. And for the record, Cleaning Nation, anyone that's ever wondered about being on the podcast, our goal here is to create amazing content for the community. So we neither get paid to be on the podcast. We certainly don't charge. No one charges us. And that goes for guest experts to everybody. Everybody that is on the show is because myself and or Natalie thought they would be good contributors, not because they gave us any money. So thanks for pointing that out, Michael. All right, now that you're here, let's see if we can't sort you out and get you some help, my friend. What's going on in your world, and how can I be of assistance today?
I want to grow the business. I want to double my business, but I need the cash flow to do it.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the cash flow problems you run into. What that looks like, so I can make sure I give you coaching that is a good fit.
Well, we basically started with nothing. So whatever income we have coming in, we use it quickly and we use it wisely. And we've been holding back in growing the company because we needed a vehicle. We had an old 97 vehicle and we bought a new one, made the right purchase. And we find ourselves not going out and getting customers, looking for customers, but we're also doing the work. So it's tiring. It really is.
Okay, so it sounds like we might have a couple issues, and I want to make sure I address the right one. When you say, and this is common, by the way, so don't hear me beating you up or saying that you're doing a bad job, because that's not the case at all. But we get a lot of, I'm afraid to get work because I don't have employees, but I'm afraid to get employees because I don't have work. That's one piece of it, because it sounds like you're like, hey, we're doing all the work, so if we go sell, it's like, crap, that's more work I got to do. But the cash flow piece is kind of a newer thing that I don't think we've talked about as much on the show. So when you say cash flow, are you just like, hey, we're having a hard time, we're waiting on receivables to have cash to get more jobs or to hire more people and that kind of a thing?
Right. We got to wait for the next check to come in to complete something that we want to do. And we don't know if it's a good idea to go out and get a loan or keep doing what we're doing.
Perfect. I'm so glad that you asked that, because so funny. We've done over 100 shows, and I keep wondering, like, man, we're going to get to the point where we start recycling. We're doing the same thing over and over. But it's funny. That's why I love working with you guys. Is you guys come up with the best questions, and it's something new every week. And I don't know that we've dealt with cash flow specifically on the show, which is a problem, because that's 90% of businesses go out of business, not because of lack of profits, but because of lack of cash. And people think, oh, same thing, big deal, right? No. It's one thing to not be profitable and go out of business. That makes sense. You would think that would be the most common way people go out of business, but it is not. It is cash flow problems. So nothing's sadder or more frustrating than a business that's making money but doesn't have cash and becomes insolvent. So it's something that we really need to talk about. And I've got good news for you, Michael, and Cleaning Nation. The good news is, probably my first favorite thing about the cleaning business, if you're doing it right, it's all recurring business. So if you've got $50,000 a month in accounts, certainly on the commercial side, to a lesser degree, but still there on the residential side, you know what your sales are going to be. It's not like most businesses where every month you start with zero in the sales column and you've probably got 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or a million, depending on the size of you, dollars of expenses every month. And you've got to kind of go start doing sales. That's why recurring revenue is becoming so big. The Netflixes of the world, the Amazons of the world, everyone's trying to get that recurring $20 a month, $40 a month revenue coming in. And the nice thing with the cleaning business is, for residential, we're talking $200 or $300 a month, and the commercial could be $2,000 or $3,000 a month. So that's my favorite thing. Second favorite thing is, most of those businesses, the marketing costs, Netflix might cost, or let's use the cell phone companies, they're famous for this. Maybe your cell phone bill's $100 a month or $200, or whatever you got. But they might spend $800, $900, $1,000 to acquire you as a customer, because they can start making money later. How that relates to Michael's question is, that's a cash flow negative deal. You need corporate capital to play that game. And it can be a very profitable game, but if you don't have a couple $100 million sitting around, it's really hard to spend $1,000 for a customer that's going to pay $200 a month, especially when you need, $1 million of those customers. Obviously, that math gets a little funky. The beautiful thing with the cleaning industry is, not only are we on the recurring model, if you're doing it right? I'm not a big fan of, no offense, Michael, if this is making you some money, I'm not a big fan of move-in, move-outs or one-time cleaning. I'm okay with those as adjuncts to, quote-unquote, your real business, but I don't like building a business on that just because they're not recurring. And also the cash flow issues. So the beautiful thing is, in addition to the recurring nature of our business, is the cash flow of our business, when set up properly, is actually not a hindrance to growth, but it will add fuel to your fire. So when I'm doing private coaching, here's the kind of hierarchy we go when someone says they have cash flow problems. It's either billing or business model. I don't think your business model, but I want to hit it so people that are having billing issues going, hey, I'm still cash broke, or not having billing issues are still cash broke, know that there's another option. Either so if it's a business model problem, that probably looks like you're not making enough margin, or you're really, that's it. You're not charging enough 9 times out of 10, or 1 time out of 10, you're charging enough, but you're not efficient in how you run your operation. So that's the first box you got to check is, are my margins sufficient? Because here, just one more quick thing. I want to couch this. You'd asked if you should get a loan. I'm not in the cleaning business. I'm not saying never in any business. In the cleaning business, I do not like loans 9 times out of 8. There's got to be a very, very specific reason. You got to have a very confident return on your investment. to use borrowed money. But if set up properly, it should be self-funding. So there should almost never be an instance where you need bank money, because the way if you bill properly, every time you get a new account, your cash flow improves and gets better, not gets worse. So the first thing you got to do is check to make sure your business model is good. You've got enough gross margin. A lot of people think that they do and they don't. Are you we don't have to get into details, but do you feel confident that your margin is okay and your pricing is okay, Michael?
Yes, now yes. Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So the second piece, if you're confident your margins are okay, and I wanted to hit that, not because I think that's your problem, Michael, but because I wanted to make sure Cleaning Nation knew that's the first step, not what I'm going to coach you on. You've got to start with, are my margins right? And yeah, we can't get into that in this episode, but check that first. The second piece is you're probably not billing right. That's going to kick your butt on the investment. Most people do some sort of, in residential, we do a cleaning or two, and then we bill you per cleaning or at the end of the month or something like that. Commercial, a lot of times we'll send you a bill at the end of the month, and then some people do net 30. And then they actually pay net 45, and it's a whole wrangling for dollars. That is not the way we set up business in commercial cleaning or residential cleaning. The proper way to set up a cleaning business billing is to bill in advance at the beginning of the month, just like you pay rent at the beginning of the month. September 1st, as we're recording this, any of you that are renters out there have probably already paid your rent for the entire month of September. That is how we bill for cleaning. They're paying you not to part of what they're paying you for is to clean. The other part of what they're paying you for is to have ready materials and staff and training and infrastructure and everything ready to go perform that service. They must pay you in advance for that, because if they cancel or can't do it or something goes haywire, you still have that infrastructure ready. So that's the big shift that most people have to make, and they don't get, and they get scared, and that's why you choke your business. So I'm assuming, Miguel, you guys are billing either at the end of the month for last month's service, or even worse, some sort of net 30 situation where you get paid a month or two after you've already paid payroll, and effectively you're acting as the bank for these people. Am I missing something, or is that where you guys are at?
That's exactly, you hit it right on the spot. We bill at the end of the month, and in most doctors' offices and most customers, they always say that they do billing at the end of the month, and that's where I didn't know that you can do this. That most commercial companies are doing that.
I don't know that most would be fair, but it is fair to say that that's not uncommon at all. It's not like they're going to go, "What? We've never heard of that." And if they do, let me tell you I shouldn't say the wrong way and the right way. Let me tell you the ineffective way and the effective way, because we can't talk, this is a podcast. I want you to go out and try it and have it not work and be like, "You didn't work, Mike." Not just you, but Cleaning Nation. The wrong way is to go, "Sure. Hey, Mr. Customer, I know that we've always done this, and I'm really sorry, but we just can't do that anymore. And you're going to have to pay." And this kind of guilty, shameful, like I'm trying to pull a fast one over. They're going to smell that and feel like you're trying to pull a fast one over on them. It's right. How you present, not even how you present it. The mindset that you bring into presenting this is 90% of it. I got zero pushback from anybody. Most of my clients, once they've done it a couple times, the first one or two times they make this presentation, they're nervous and they feel like they're trying to do something funny. And sometimes the client picks up and they have a problem with that. The third and fourth and on time, they never have any pushback. You just say, "This is how billing goes. We bill at the first of the month. And here, let me tell you, there's a bunch of unintended benefits to this that I want to cover." So you're like, "Oh, wow, this helps me in 7 ways, not just one." So right now, you're doing a lot of, stealing from Peter to pay Paul, right? This guy owes me this, and when I get this, I can pay that guy. And there's all this nonsense going around. And that probably takes, with the billing and the calling, "Hey, can I get the check?" And "Yeah, we can send it." "No, I really need it. Can I come pick it up?" And all that kind of nonsense. Yes. That's probably sucking 5 or 10 hours a month out of somebody's time. And that's not good time. That's bad time. That's uneventful time. And let's play that out to an even, and hopefully you haven't dealt with this, Michael, but I promise someone in Clean Nation has. Let's play that out. Some Yahoo, you got a $1,500 a month account. They pay at the end of the month. You bill them at the end of the month. They usually pay on the 15th of the following month. So now you're 45 days out from when you did your first thing. That's a loan. You've already paid payroll a month ago, and it's been 45 days since you started service. Yes. And they go, "Hey, Michael, we're going to be a week late this month. Is that okay?" And we just don't have the money. And you're like, "Well, it's not really okay, but what can I do?" And then they don't call you in a week, and the check doesn't show up. So 2 weeks later, you call them. It's now 60 days out. They now owe you $3,000, and they go, "We can give you $500. You're now in the spot of, well, do I quit cleaning and probably never see that $3,000, or do I keep cleaning because they won't pay me the full $3,000, but they'll keep throwing me crumbs? And I keep cleaning because if I stop cleaning, I won't get the $500 at all. So I keep cleaning. They give me the 500 with the promise of, it'll be another 500. We're going to catch up. And guess what happens? For the next however long you'll tolerate it, you're playing that game. And they're holding the carrot of money that is yours that they owe you over, and the only carrot you have is we'll stop cleaning. And when you stop cleaning, and they know you're never going to see that money again. So that's when it goes bad. The way you can avoid that is we bill on the 25th of, let's just say it's December. Well, that's Christmas, but whatever. The 25th of the preceding month. So we deal the 25th of December. Well, first of all, ideally, especially if it's residential, but even a lot of commercials will do this because it saves them time. You just have their credit card on file. They just sign something saying, just hit my card at the first of the month. That's absolutely the best way to go. Yes, I know it costs you 2%, but for crying out loud, think of what the time value of your money is, not having to, or the time value of the value of your time is not having to go collect the money. Just pay the 2% and don't worry about it. When your collections go to zero and your collection time goes to zero, and if you're a $50,000 a month customer or company, you have $50,000 on day one. Think of how good your cash flow is and be fine paying them their 2% or whatever. So that's the best way to do it. If they're unwilling or unable to do that, you build, and residential is going to be, that should be 98% of what you do. Commercial might be 50-50. You say, I'm going to build.
How do you turn your existing customers?
Hold on, we'll get there. So on the 25th, you send a bill. On the 2nd or 3rd, you stop cleaning. Period. End of sentence. No negotiation. Just period. That's just how it is. You just stop cleaning. If they want you back, they must pay in full. If they don't pay in full, you quit. And well, I'll lose an account. No, you won't. You'll lose a deadbeat that's not paying. You'll lose a debt. You'll lose paying them to clean. If they're not paying you, they're not an account. So that saves all your bad debt. You can literally have zero bad debt in a multi-million-dollar cleaning company because you do your billing properly. And you can also have literally, doesn't matter how big you are, an hour to a month for all your billing. That's it. You just run all the credit cards. You cash all the checks. That's 90% of it. The 10% that doesn't come in, you can call them or not, but you just stop cleaning. That's it. It's so easy. It changes everything. It's a game changer. Now, there's a couple ways you can transition for those of you probably like Michael who are like, well, I'm set up with a bunch of clients. How do I fix it? There's a couple ways you can go. The less obtrusive way is just to start selling all new clients like that, period. I don't like that. But that's the least kind of scary way that you can do it. The next way you can do it is, obviously, all of these ways include not selling wrong anymore going forward, always selling it properly. The next way you can do it is start with your least profitable customers, or the ones that you don't like, or that you don't care if you lose. Everyone's kind of got those, like, this guy's a pain in the neck, and they never pay anyway, and I didn't bill them enough to start with, and it's just a pain. So if you made the switch and they left, it'd almost be a blessing. You probably got a couple of those, Michael?
I already lost those.
Okay, they're gone.
I went up on their
Fantastic. So you can start with kind of the bottom, then you can go in profitability. Ideally in a perfect world, every customer makes exactly the same amount of gross profit as the other, but we know that's not the reality. Right. So pick the bottom third in terms of profitability and make the shift with them. And then you can kind of work your way that way. The way I would do it, especially if you're making no cash flow, it's easy because what can they do is, they can stop. Not if they quit, fine. You've been sucking my cash flow. They're treating you like a bank, so you don't have to keep putting today's labor dollars into money you hope you'll get 2 months from now. You can start putting today's labor dollars into money you got a week ago. See how that shift, it makes it pretty easy. So if they all quit, fine, you can just go start selling. So if it was me and we'd have to coach one-on-one to tell you if you could do this. You never do it immediately, like, hey, starting today. That's not professional. Pick the beginning of the month and just say, and it depends how many customers you have. If you got less than 30, call them. If you got less than 30, go out there and have this conversation by phone. If you got between like 30 and 60, go out there and have it in person. 30 and 60, maybe have it by phone. If you got like 100 or so, you might have to do a letter and an email kind of a thing. If it was me, I would switch everybody and just rip the Band-Aid, and that would be the only thing I did this month, right? That would be my big goal, is making that shift, and once that shift happened, then I could do something else next month. But those are three options. Either just start selling it to the new people, do it in phases, or rip the Band-Aid and just tell everybody this is how we bill now, period. And the good news is people might complain, but paying in advance is usually not as big of a deal switching cleaning companies. So most of the time they'll comply. And guess what? The ones that don't comply and freak out and go, we're quitting, are the ones that don't have cash flow and are probably going to not pay you at some point in the future. So it's a nice way to get them to raise their hand and identify themselves. Okay. We are going way long because you just asked such a good question. Any questions or comments or thoughts or needs before we move on to the lightning round and you have the opportunity to give back to Clean Nation?
Well, since we're also janitorial and we're getting into crime scene cleaning. Do you have any information about getting into the crime scene cleaning?
I do, but that would be a different question for a different episode for a different day.
Different show.
Have to do a whole thing. All right, so let's hit the lightning round. I'm going to give you 3 quick questions. You're going to give me 3 awesome answers that are going to help Cleaning Nation. Question number 1, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice I've ever received, don't spend the money that you don't have.
Okay, perfect.
So making sure that you spend it in the right way.
And a good adjunct to that is exactly what we've been talking about today. Make sure you have the money that you're owed. That way you can spend it. Question 2, what's the biggest mistake you've made in the cleaning business that we can all learn from?
The biggest mistake I've done in the cleaning business is basically go up to a customer and ask her for the check a week early.
Okay.
That's what the biggest mistake is.
How so?
Well, the customer was one of my biggest customers, and she normally I had an old truck, an old van that the engine blew out going over a hill, and I needed $2,000 quickly so I could get it fixed. And I asked her if there was any way that I can get the check a week early, and she got upset and she sent out a memo stating when she pays her bills and things like that. She didn't like it too much.
Wow, sounds like a kind of a mean customer. That I'm okay with no, but there's no reason to get pissy about it. All right, last question. What's one idea that Cleaning Nation can put into practice today that will improve their lives and or their business?
I think getting organized with with your time. You got to give yourself some time to solicit and some time to take care of the customers, making sure that you have the proper training for your employees. That's crucial. You have to have a plan to succeed in order for you to go forward, and always keep the motion going forward, even if it's just very little. Always make sure you're going forward.
Easier said than done, but wise words nevertheless. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your passion, your story, your desire to grow. I appreciate you. I know the Cleaning Nation appreciates you. If you want to check out Michael's show notes page and discover everything you need to grow your cleaning company, check out growmycleaningcompany.com. Leave your questions, your comments, your rude remarks. We will see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies as well as industry experts can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.